if you want to hold masculine frame in a relationship with your girlfriend, with your wife, with maybe a girl that you want to be your girlfriend, it all starts with you first, the man in the mirror, okay? This is how I've always thought about women, okay? Women will fall in line for the man that they believe in. Women are like the greatest bettors of all time, like sports bettors, okay? Let's keep it like that. Let's say that men are horses, okay? And women, they bet on horses. Let's say that, right? They're probably not going to put their money on the horse that is out of shape, not doesn't look like a fast runner, looks terrible. That's essentially the essence of what a woman does when she's looking for a good partner. Okay, can this man lead me? Can he provide for me? Will he be able to raise a family? Will he, put me in place when I need to be put in place? Because women will shit test you. I'm telling you firsthand. I've had women shit test me in my own life. Okay, where they'll see how far they could push a certain thing. They'll see how, well, yeah, he's just a friend. He's a guy friend. They want to see how far they could push you and see what you are willing to take from them. All right. So when I say that women are betters, basically, I mean, they're going to put their money on the guy that looks like he's got the most going for him. Now, the way you do that is by making yourself a good horse. Okay, this is just an analogy. It's a stupid ass analogy, but just stick with me. And the way you make yourself into a good horse is, you start speaking with ambitious tones. Okay, you don't necessarily have to be doing the most or be super accomplished. Obviously, that's a great way to attract women. But if you're watching this video, you might not be super accomplished. But you need to have high goals and high standards for yourself. You need to also carry yourself in a certain way. Be a gentleman, open doors, be respectful, pay for everything. That's just the way we do as men. You have to do that. You also need to hold yourself to a certain standard physically, okay, where you're going to work out every day and look, decent. Or if you don't look decent, at least go to the gym every day and show that you have initiative. And when you're offered a piece of cake, say, hell no, I don't eat cake. I don't eat ice cream. I don't eat that stuff. I eat lean foods. I'm trying to get in good shape, right? You need to be in good shape mentally, right? So you not need to be down on yourself. No one likes a guy who's down on themselves. No one likes a guy who is pessimistic. No one wants to be around that guy. They want to be around the high energy, charismatic individual who thinks of himself as a freaking king. Like, that's who you should be. You should not be the guy that, listens to sad music and is depressed all the time. That shit's gross. No one wants to be around that. All right. And then the last one, but the most important thing is you need to be in good shape spiritually as well. And I'm telling you this from firsthand. When you have the fear of God inside of you, you don't fear anything else. And that energy rubs off, and women like men that are fearless, because if you're fearless, you probably have high testosterone. So you need to be right spiritually with God, and whoever your God might be. For me, that's Jesus Christ. I talk about him all the time on this channel, but you need to be right spiritually as well. Because in order to be a good leader, you need to be led yourself. And the only one who's going to lead you, it could be mentors and things like that, but all the leading that you need in your life is going to come out of the Bible. It's going to come from God. So the way I've always held masculine frame, at least in my current relationship, is I became extremely ambitious and I wouldn't settle for low-end things. And for a long time, it looked foolish, but I was so convincing to my girlfriend by my daily actions. She understands that, hey, he's got a lot of potential. And now she's reaping the benefits of that potential. She doesn't pay rent. She, will pitch in for groceries here and there, but I mostly pay for everything, every dinner we do. She still works, but she's not paying much. I'm letting her save all of her money. And, she's on the brink of wanting to quit her job anyways. So she now understands, like, hey, all of that convincing that he did to me, or me trusting my gut to follow him, it paid off now. So the way you hold masculine frame is by holding yourself to a certain standard. Holding yourself to a certain standard and not being walked all over. I have a story for you. In my last relationship, super toxic relationship, to be fair, we were very young, and that's kind of what I'll chalk it up to. But I was horrible at holding, my masculine frame when it came to her going out or going to festivals and doing all of these different things. And, so by the end of it, I ended up getting cheated on. All right. Boo-hoo, so sad, whatever. It's my own fault. I really can't blame the girl. I have to blame myself. And I'll tell you why I blame myself. I was like a helicopter boyfriend. I tried to control every aspect of her life, but yet I didn't have any aspect of my own life under control. I ate whatever the hell I wanted. I was drinking beers all the time, getting drunk all the time, and I wasn't the best boyfriend, and I did my fair share of cheating and messing up as well, and I can admit to that. But I didn't do my job as a man, so I can't hold it against her. You as a man in a relationship are the leader, okay? A woman it plays a huge role, okay? Just as important as the man. But as the man, you are the head of the household. You are the head of the relationship. You need to act according. So a woman is going to just basically be a reflection of whatever you do in your life. That's essentially, that's a hard truth to swallow, but it's the truth nonetheless, okay? So I allowed those things to happen because I opened those doors myself. Now, fast forward to my relationship, today we are about to be at the 5-year mark this month. We are better than ever. We're a unit together. We convey that energy. And I'll be honest, we both weren't the best people when we first met. And I still had a lot of things to work through in my own life. And I was still drinking and still partying and doing those things. But everything switched about 2 years in when I stopped drinking and started focusing on my future. And now we're better than we've ever been, being 5 years into the relationship. And the past 3 years, and the biggest thing for me was not drinking alcohol. 3 of the years being the best years. Not even the first 2 when we first started dating. I don't even know how we made it past those points. We don't stress about money anymore. We don't stress about anything really anymore, except what vacation we're going to do next, and what's the next phase of our life, and investing and things like that. So that's just a little word of wisdom. This is like brotherly advice that I would give to a younger brother. And just remember, boys, if a woman can be molded into who you want her to be. She does not have to be perfect if you're not perfect. That's okay. Not everyone's going to be perfect. People have past. That's life. Welcome to being an adult. All right? But you can mold a woman into what you want her to be. Not in a manipulative way, but in a good way, where you lead by example and she'll follow. So keep that in mind. And until next video, peace.